Hello, my name is Martin Omander, and I welcome you to Google Root Access, the show featuring actionable startup advice. My guest today is Mani Doraisamy, founder of the startup Guesswork. Welcome on the show, Mani.
Thank you, Martin.
So tell me a bit about your startup, Guesswork. What do you do?
Yeah, we are a machine learning startup that helps to qualify leads and increase customer conversion. We do that by building predictive intelligence in CRM.
Predictive intelligence in CRM. Okay. How come you decided to focus on that?
We found this problem that the leads from internet marketing don't convert into customers very well. Take this example of real estate agents. They get like 100 leads every day. But out of the 100 leads, 90 of them are from internet, from Trulia, Zillow, and AdWords, right? Only 10 of them are from the traditional marketing channels. But the problem is, out of the 90 leads, only 5 of them convert into real customers. But on the other hand, if you take the 10 leads from the traditional channels, the same 5 gets converted. So business owners most of the time think that internet marketing doesn't work very well for them, and start ignoring those leads. We found that you could use machine learning and find out which are the ones that are serious inquiries and casual inquiries, and we could surface them on CRM so that the small business owners can focus on the serious ones rather than the casual ones.
I see. So you're taking those 90 and finding the gold in them, finding the 5 there.
Exactly, because that's the one that doubles the sales.
Doubles, right. Yeah. You don't want to discard the 90, but you want to find the 5. So it strikes me as a little bit of trying to find the needle in the haystack. How do you find those good leads in there?
Right. So when a new user comes into the CRM, we find out the tone of the inquiry, and we find out the customer's social profile and their interests to figure out whether there is a match between the product that you sell and the customer's interest. But once the customer or the lead starts engaging with you, then you also have a lot more information about the customer. Like, for example, what newsletter clicks, what are the newsletter clicks, and what's your subsequent sales inquiries, and so on. So that gives us a lot more information about how likely he's going to convert into customer and when he's going to convert into customers. And we accomplish this by a combination of the machine learning algorithm and a rule engine. So for machine learning algorithm, we obviously use Google Prediction API, and the rule engine is something that we have built on our own, and that's our IP.
I see. So tell me a bit more about that. I imagine when a new customer comes on board, there isn't a lot of training data that the machine learning algorithm can chew on.
Exactly.
How do you deal with that situation?
Yeah, we call it as cold start problem in the machine learning world. I think that's one significant problem that all startups and small and medium companies face. That's one of the reasons why machine learning has been the forte of big companies like Google, because Google has a lot of data that it has collected over time, right? Be it in search or be it in Google Maps. It's able to predict how long it will take to reach a particular place, because there is so much of training data for the machine learning algorithm to predict it. What we have done in our case is we use a combination of rule engine so that we can predict without the training data. Like, take for example the traditional CRM case, right? So if a customer is replying to your emails consistently, then the probability of conversion is more. You don't have to use machine learning to actually do the text analytics to find out what is the tone or what is the interest, right? So during the initial stages, we use the rule engine to determine the accuracy, and once we start getting training data that's good enough to do the prediction, then it seamlessly switches to the machine learning algorithm. So it's a kind of the handoff that rule engine does to the machine learning algorithm, and all this complexity is hidden to the consumers, right?
So you provide a sort of on-ramp for the machine learning algorithm, but the customers don't see anything. They just see good data coming out of it.
Exactly, right. And I think it's not just a technology problem, right? So some of these algorithms work from day one because we focus on a particular vertical. We also collect data about the social profile and the interests, and that gives us the accuracy on the machine learning algorithm from day one for certain algorithms, right? And that also helps in getting the algorithm working from day one.
Yeah, okay. So then you have the deterministic rules engine working together with a probabilistic machine learning.
Exactly.
So we have here two types of machine intelligence, if we put it that way. Is there any place for human intuition in this equation?
Yeah, I think human intuition is something that we have been relying on so long, right? So, for example, if you look at a salesperson, he looks at the tone of the inquiry, and he looks at how many times he has called in the last week, and then his profile, and then makes that human judgment, right? You can't completely ignore it. So what we do is, whenever we find that the machine learning algorithm's confidence score is not that high, it's like that 50-50, then we ask the humans to classify whether it is a serious inquiry or not, right? And that becomes a feedback loop into the machine learning algorithm. So it's this combination of the rule engine that gives you the deterministic algorithm that we have been building for so long, and the machine learning algorithm that is coming up to the same speed as the deterministic algorithm, and then bringing in that human intuition, which is the triangle of the algorithms that we think will be the future of how machine learning will evolve, right? Because machine learning is not going to be this puristic single play algorithm. It has to be combined with the combination of deterministic, probabilistic, and human intuition to be successful.
And you weave all of those into your product and make good data come out of it.
It's not just guesswork. We think that's how machine learning will evolve in future as well, because I think that makes practical sense rather than just being puristic about the data science.
Ah, right. So let's get down to brass tacks then. You've talked about machine learning and rules engine on a fairly high level. What products or platforms are you actually using to actually make this happen?
Right. So obviously we use Google Prediction API for the machine learning algorithm. In fact, from a machine learning standpoint, Google Prediction API is the best in the classification algorithm. And as far as the app itself, the one that customers use to configure machine learning algorithm is concerned, that runs on Google App Engine, and we run the rule engine on top of Google Prediction API, on top of Google App Engine and big data. So for cases where you have to transform customers' data into the way the machine learning requires, we use BigQuery. So it does that ETL job to transform customers' data into machine learning data. So these are the three products that we use internally.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, Mani, and sharing your experiences with us.
Thanks, Martin. It's my pleasure.
Thank you for joining us. See you next time. We hope you found something you can use in your startup. Your input matters. Please leave your comments below. We read everything you write. To learn how Google can help your startup, go to developers.google.com/startups. If you would like to be a guest on the show, go to bit.ly/apply root access. That's it for now. See you next time.